Hello friends, welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome back to part 2 of Build a Twitch Bot with tmi.js. We have Sir Alca with us.
How's it going?
Let's catch up on all the chats. Hello Robin, welcome back. Hello me. Jan is saying, the find one and update method you were using, the upsert param that ended in returning null, it will do that unless return new document is set to true as well. Oh.
Right.
So that could have worked.
Forgot about that.
I think what we have is fine though. We also just
I like what we did better.
Yeah, and we also discussed like potentially this route might actually just be for users that are logging in, and we might just store the bot like OAuth token in an environment variable. We had talked about earlier we might use different scopes depending on like who's calling this callback. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Hello, Jan. Hello, Linus. Hello, Krisu. Hello, Zachary. What's up, Nessie? Welcome back. Okay, so if we look at our to-do list, at this point, we kind of just gotten set up going. We've at least gotten OAuth. Let's see, so we kind of modeled the data. You can see our model here in terms of how we're going to be structuring things. At this point, I think the bot is like the only thing that we have. So now going into it, we're going to try to start modeling other things. I think we'll most likely start with users, because users will be able to add the bot to their channel. So once a user logs in, we essentially create an entry for that user, and we create an entry in the channels collection so that the bot now knows to listen for messages on that channel. So I think that's what we're going to work on next. Does that sound good, Alca?
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially users can log in, we'll add them to the DB, we'll add their channel to the DB, and then we can start working on these other models as well. Yeah, our backend is set up and ready to go. Those of you that are just joining the stream, this is a pretty basic Express app. So we've got all our middlewares, we have our Express app here, basic get route on /, and then we've actually implemented the Twitch OAuth flow from scratch, which was actually not too hard. So we have a Twitch router right here, and so we have a path for doing the initial redirect, and so that redirects to Twitch. The user or the bot clicks authorize, that comes back to our callback. We then use the code to request a access token and refresh token, and we can now use that access token and refresh token to do things on behalf of this particular bot. Though, I think we should make a decision right now. Should we refactor this and like repurpose it to allow different types of users to log in? Because I guess what we could do is like, if the user ID of the user is prunebot, then we're updating prunebot.
Yeah.
If it's not, then we are just adding a new user into our system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way to go about it. The other way is, instead of having like this bot code here, we actually only handle user login, and then there would just be an environment variable. We can look at our sample env. That's something like
I need to update that.
Yeah, bot OAuth token or something. Yeah, and this is missing the DB environment variables. Yeah, that's okay to leave. So how do you think we should do it? I'll leave it up to you.
Oh man. Let's see. I really like. Well, instead of the OAuth token, we need to store the refresh token.
Refresh token, okay.
Yeah, first of all. So I think we can do it with just the environment. I think that'd be okay.
So basically the flow we've already implemented, we'll just repurpose that for users that are now adding the bot to their account.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done it one time, and if we have to do it again, we'll figure that.
Okay, cool.
For production or whatever.
Yeah, so that sounds good. And then, so essentially, in the Twitch routes here, instead of inserting into the bot table, we would want to insert into the users table.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and create, I guess, a user model.
Okay.
I think we'll just copy from the bot. Let's call it user.js. And we can update this.
Okay.
There you go. If we look back at our ERD, a user has an ID and a Twitch ID. So really that should just be Twitch ID. Because ID will be...
That will be unique.
Yep, it will be unique. And ID automatically gets added by the database. Are we storing the user's refresh token?
We should be.
Okay. I guess what would we be doing on the user's behalf, though?
Looking up information, you get faster, what's it called? Rate limiting.
Okay.
You get higher amount if you use a refresh token.
Okay.
I mean, access token.
And so, like, if we're looking up, like, channel details or user profile images and stuff like that, we can use that token in the API request to Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I kind of like that. So basically, depending on which channel we need information for, we'll actually use that user's refresh token to get that channel information. Is that accurate? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So Twitch ID and refresh token, I'll just add it to our model here.
All right.
Cool. And should we so okay, let's say like a user logs into the system through this flow. We're now going to have them in our database. If we think about like how the UI is going to look in terms of the like the dashboard, would we then just like instantly add their channel as well? So like insert a row into the channel thing, or should we have some like RESTful endpoints that says like add channel for a given user?
I think we should create the user channel immediately.
Okay. So basically it's going to be very similar. Like we just created the user here, but now we insert a row in channels because that's going to be essentially the channels that we're listening on for messages for.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
We don't have to connect immediately necessarily. We could have a button that says connect now. Like Nightbot has a join button.
Okay.
Instead.
But we can go ahead and set up the stuff in our database.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Okay. So I guess very similar to the user model, we need a channel model. Channel.js. And we'll call this the channel schema.
No suggestions. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, and I guess this doesn't need the refresh token. This will be the channel collection.
Yeah.
Cool. And I guess we'll default that the user is basically a manager of the channel. Like I don't think we'll need to insert anything into managers. I guess that comes later when we want to grant access to another user to allow them to moderate or to like change the settings of the spot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
So so we have our channel schema, we have our user schema. When a user signs up, we're gonna put a row in or update or put a row in both. And maybe like should we add like an enabled property on channel so that way we know whether or not to listen for messages?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when you hit the join button, and then anytime that the bot restarts, we need to know do we join immediately.
Okay. So yeah, we can add that to the channel schema. Yeah, because I mean technically like people could log in all day, but we should only be listening for messages on the channels where it should be enabled. Oh man.
Oh, okay.
Something weird happened.
Well, if we want to set a default to
that. Yeah, default to true. Because I mean, I think the first time we insert a row here, I mean, we can kind of assume that it should start listening for messages, right?
Oh yeah, things are acting strange. Oh, I see. What? There were two of you suddenly. I don't know.
Really?
You do it. He did it. I'm having trouble formatting.
How's that?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Should we default to false or default to true?
I think we should default to false and then have a join button.
Okay, cool.
Because someone may sign in and then be a moderator on another channel and try to manage that, but not actually want the bot themselves.
Okay. That's a good point.
They have the discretion of choosing to join.
Right, and then we could actually, I guess later on, once we've added them to different channels, we can list out like you are a manager of these channels, and then they can go in, and that shows the specific settings. Okay, that makes sense. What was I thinking of? Oh yeah, so do we need to? We would essentially just tell the I've seen this on Streamlabs where they just have like an alert that says make sure you add this user as a mod.
As moderator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we can kind of do the same thing. Like as long as PrunerBot is a mod on a given channel, it will be able to join and send messages and change settings if it needs to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did add a moderator API recently.
Oh, cool.
I think we can make use of that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's catch up on the chat real quick. Hello, Fernando. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow, Magic Fire. I appreciate it. Fernando says, Alca, your code pin is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there. Linus is saying, so what should the bot be able to do? We're essentially going to allow it, we're going to have some default commands, like some of the stuff you've seen all over the place, like uptime. I don't know, what are some like default commands that we're going to have?
So definitely uptime, set title would be good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably look at like the Nightbot dashboard or Streamlabs dashboard to see some of the default commands there. But basically, we're re-implementing something like that. So we'll have all those commands and the ability to add new commands.
The ability to list the commands, that'd be good.
Yeah.
A command for listing
commands. Oh yeah, so a command that lists all the enabled commands.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Katoli. Hello, Jack.
Nightbot is pretty sparse.
In terms of
apart from like default commands.
Default commands, okay.
So there's a list to get commands. There's a command to run a commercial, a command to edit the moderation stuff, a command to change the game, which is like the directory and all that. There's a poll, list of regulars, so you can edit that. Songs, so they have song request, set the title, and then choose a random person from who's in the chat. That's it.
Cool. I Speak English is asking, how does a refresh token get generated versus a normal initial access token? What's the difference? You want to explain that one? Or try to? I mean, I can explain what I know about it. So like an access token is what you will be sending in your requests to the API, which allows you to make requests on behalf of the user that access token is for. The refresh token allows you to create a new access token. So the access token usually has a fairly short timeout. You know what the default is?
I believe it's an hour. We may have 2 or 3 months because of the client ID.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's an older client ID. Yeah, we should be okay.
Okay. But the idea with the access token is like it's somewhat short-lived, and you essentially need to create a new access token every now and then using your refresh token.
And the refresh token requires the client secret. So it's okay to accidentally reveal and have it last a lot longer.
Right.
Because you have to have another secret.
Which is why we're actually storing the refresh token in the database, because we have the refresh token in the database. What's that?
It's plain text as well.
Yeah, in plain text, not encrypted or anything. And then if we need to request a new access token, we send the refresh token with our client secret, and that allows us to get a new refresh and working access token. So hopefully that helped. There's probably better descriptions out there on the web of how that all works. Yeah, here is what Robin has to say. An access token is short-lived and has access to data. A refresh token is longer-lived and can only request new access tokens. Yeah, think of a refresh token as a user/password substitute. Hello, Berserg. Welcome to the stream. Add a help command that replies as a whisper. Ooh, that'd be cool. Okay. So we have the channel, we have the user. I guess at this point we should update our like Twitch login flow thing to update the channel and user.
No longer need the bot model in this case.
Right.
Let's see. What do we want to do? User? Channel? Both?
For both, yeah. So I think basically, well, yeah, we'll need both in this file. User model and the channel model. And then when a user logs in, we'll have very similar logic. Though I guess we could attempt to do the upsert thing if we know how to do that now.
Maybe. Okay.
So we have those two models, and then now inside of the try catch, we make the post. Then instead of bot model, I guess is going to be user, and I guess do we need to create or like make a request to get their profile? Do we have their Twitch ID somewhere?
So I believe it comes back in the request for the access token.
Okay, yeah. Let me look at the
check that.
Yeah, let's look at the docs really quick to see what properties we have access to. In the response, so on your server, get an access token by making a request here. And it says that responds with token, expires in, scope, and token type.
Okay, so apparently we don't. I think I've seen issues where it doesn't match what's in the documentation necessarily, but either way, we can hit the validation endpoint to get that, or we can look at the user endpoint. If we send the token, the access token, we get the user without knowing their ID and that type of stuff.
And that will give us back the user ID, basically.
Yeah, that will give us that.
Yeah, maybe we just need to do that because I mean I think we looked at the response a while ago and it just had those properties.
Well, we only looked at the expires in, scope, and token type.
Okay, so
we didn't look at anything else.
Actually, let's just log object.keys then. Let's see what we get.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, let's comment out all that stuff, and then just we'll respond with object.keys of the response.data. So whatever Twitch gives us back, we're going to see those property names here.
Okay.
Let's try it. Oh, we gotta restart the server.
Yep.
Always forget. That's all we get. Yeah, that's all we get.
No user ID.
Yeah. So now using that access token, we should make a request to get the user info.
Yeah. So if you look at new Twitch API.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah. And then if we look at get user in the reference section.
Oh no, that's webhooks.
First reference.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's be get users. Yeah. So if you send an authentication token, you will get the user object back. And we won't see the email because we don't have that scope set when we created it.
Yeah, and I guess actually at this point we kind of need a different scope, right? Because before those scopes were based on it being a bot.
Yeah.
But now we really just need, maybe we need like.
We need moderation read to get their list of moderators. Okay. That's first one. We could keep the old thing.
All the old stuff.
As a separate one for us later.
Okay, cool.
Because you have to get that token first for the bot.
Right. I was thinking.
We don't need chat edit.
Okay.
We don't need whisper read.
Chat read.
I don't know what chat read gives us. It's not necessary. You live stream chat and room messages. Oh, that's for rooms. Then we don't care about rooms because that feature's going away.
Okay, so we don't even need chat read?
No.
There we go.
So we just need moderation : read. It's not listed in the scopes here. It is on the page with it.
Okay.
So I'll make sure to give a comment on that in the Discord.
Okay. So in terms of getting the user, you mentioned we can make a request to this user's endpoint. We include the access token as like a bearer token?
Yes, authentication, bearer, and then the token.
Okay, so let's give that a try.
Okay. Do we want to set up a separate Twitch API?
I think so, yeah.
Page or file?
Wait, a separate file?
Yeah, that'll create all the endpoints that we need to hit.
Oh, yeah. So like a little API file.
Because we may need it elsewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it.
Where would you like to put that?
It's up to you.
Okay, I will put it in. I usually do like lib for everything.
Yeah, so like
All right.
reusable library things. That makes sense.
All right. And what is it? Axios? What is
Yep.
Axios. Okay, I'll need your help here. Okay, create, right?
Yeah, we can just grab that, and then I'll get you the base URL.
Oh, and I know that by heart. No.
There you go.
Yeah, we're using Helix in this case.
Yep.
So this is the Helix base. Helix API. We can just call it Helix now. We're going to have an object that we're exporting.
Cool.
Now, would you like to write functions and then just assign the function to here?
Yeah, I like to do that.
Function, and then A. This is my preference.
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
Okay.
So I have a function like get users. Yep.
You could say users or user.
Yeah, I mean,
Have them semantically different.
Technically, the endpoint is users.
Yeah.
Even though I guess we'll only be getting one user, right?
We could pass in an ID, a login, or a token, or IDs and tokens and logins all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. For our
a lot of different things.
Yeah, in our initial case, we only have the token because we don't have the user ID.
Okay.
So let's handle that. But then later on, yeah, if we do want to list users, we may want to be passing in their IDs.
You could pass in an object.
Okay.
And expect ID token, ID login token.
Okay.
And then we'll just never use the ID or login. For now, let's just do the token.
Yeah, for now. Cool.
All
right. So we can do. Let's see.
Oh, okay, hitting tab goes to the terminal. That's very strange.
Oh wow! Should I just close it?
I think I'm in some weird state. I think I'm gonna reload again. So sorry if that breaks everything.
No worries.
I gotta do what's good for me.
Oh, this actually is just a GET request.
Yeah.
And we want to get /users.
Whoa. Oh, I can see all I can on.
And actually, I think we can set.
I'm not seeing that, by the way. Weird. Let me hit refresh. No. Can you hit save? Maybe. I already have it saved. What?
I see your cursor now.
There we are. Okay.
It's back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think it was just desynchronized in that one file or something.
That's good. And so headers is where we can do our authorization bearer.
Yes.
Bearer. And then throws in the token. So
all we need.
Yeah, so that should be it because we're passing in the token, it should get the user that we're passing in. And then let's just return response.data.
Okay.
This should be the actual user info. Cool.
That should be an array.
So like
so we could pass that or null.
Yeah, I like it. So that way, because we're only requesting one. And actually, let's call this get user. And that way, later on, if we want to list multiple users, we can create a separate function that that takes in the IDs and stuff. Cool. So we've got get user. Let's require that in our Twitch file. I'll pull that in. So go into lib Twitch API. Is this an okay spelling?
Yep.
Cool.
Happy with that. So
yeah, now that we get the access token, so right after that we can say await Twitch API get user, and we'll pass in token is response dot access token.
Yep.
Cool. There's my break timer.
I need to. Okay. Do you want to rename our variables?
We could
for the response.
Yeah, let's do that. We could do a destructure and just like call it token.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
this is going to be for a user. Do you want me to write the JS doc for the response?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So we also have parameters. So we're expecting an object. So options is fine. Let's see. And then you say property. No, you say param options dot token. We're expecting that to be a string. This can be a type. Like I can write the type.
Are you in the?
This.
Oh, you're in the Twitch API.
I'm in Twitch
okay.
API.
I was like, where are you? Okay,
yes.
cool.
I could write a type for options, but I don't know if that's really necessary.
Not right now. It's only one property. Yeah, it's an object.
Say, or a star, or whatever you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like options. The OAuth token will be expected user.
Cool.
And then we'll say return either one. And then I will have to write a type for this because that'll be way more convenient. User. Or let's call that like Twitch API user.
Cool.
If for Twitch API user, we have a property that is, let's look at the API. So look at the API for get users again.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives us a bunch of stuff.
Main thing we need is ID.
Okay. I'll keep it simple
then.
String.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all we need.
Okay.
Yeah.
The user ID.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool. So that's awesome because this tells us that it returns Twitch API user, and then now over here, like if we call this user, we should be able to say like user dot, and it tells us it has an ID property. That's great. And so right here in the destructuring of the Axios post, we have to go in and grab data first. So like from the data property, destructure the access token property and call it token like that.
All right.
So yeah, that should give us the user. For now, I guess let's just respond with the user. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool.
Shouldn't be anything too dirty in there.
Yeah, and so because just user info, and so if that works, then we can try to put them in our database. Oh yeah, but we're using a different redirect string now. We're using just moderation read.
Yes.
Okay.
You may want to use it as you or something instead of the bot because we will. I think we overwrite the original token. I'm not too sure how that whole process works.
Like if I request a new token with a new scope, it might get rid of the old one.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I feel like the refresh tokens stick around, but like there's not really too much information about that from Twitch.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just use my coding garden account. Let's see.
I feel better about that.
So this will allow PrunerBot to view your channel's moderation data, including moderators, bans, timeouts, and auto-mod settings. Authorize. What?
Didn't restart the server.
Didn't restart the server. Yeah, someone in the chat mentioned we should be using NodeMon, but I still think...
Yeah, at this point, we probably should have been using NodeMon until we get to the bot point.
Okay. User, no.
It's a little late now. All right. So what happened?
I mean, it could...
Oh, it returned null from here.
Yeah, I mean, could it be that if it's only if you only pass in the token that it's not actually an array, it's just a single one?
It should be an array. Like if I just go to that, I have a browser extension that will send my token. So if I just go to there without any arguments, I get data as an array with an object.
Okay.
With my details in it.
Let's double check.
We could here. Let's just log the response data in Twitch API.
Cool.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, and it's complaining about the indentation. Did you restart the server?
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Restart. Yeah, maybe.
I'm seeing spaces too now.
Maybe we will install NodeMon. User null, but what did it log?
Okay. Oh, they have a data saying
Response.data.data.
it right. Mhm.
Okay.
So that, yeah, because of how.
Because
it's set up in
Axios gives us a data
Axios.
property, and then they give us the data property. Well, that's weird.
If you're using request, it'd be body, but you know.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. If we
Axios.
destructure the data,
All right.
and then we can just do data at 0. Right? Yeah, that should do it. Nice.
Okay.
Cool. And so in this, we want to use the ID to insert into the channels table and into the users table. So
yes,
let's do that in Twitch.js. I think we already brought those models in.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try it. Yeah, like user model dot.
So are we gonna do the upsert, or are we gonna?
Let's try to do an upsert. We might have to figure out the right way to do it, but yeah, I think an upsert would be good. Mongoose find upsert.
Let's see, so it's Twitch ID, right? Twitch ID. We could set up in JS stock for our models as well.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'll do that in a little bit, or now.
Yeah,
whatever.
I guess do it now while I'm figuring out this upsert.
Okay, real quick.
Atomic updates. Upsert. Interesting. I mean, it seems like this will work. Doesn't actually look too hard. And do we want to store the user's refresh token? Oh yeah, we have that in the model.
Yeah.
No, or
so we have to. Yes.
Okay, cool. And refresh token actually came from here. In our user model, yeah, we called it with an underscore. Cool. So, are you in this Twitch file with me?
I'm not currently figuring out this, but I can be there in a second.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I'm trying to remember exactly how to do this. Here. Okay, what are we doing?
So we've grabbed the refresh token from that auth response. Twitch ID is coming from the user. Our query is to search both the channel database and the user database for a row with that given Twitch ID.
Yeah.
Yep. And then what I found in the docs is options new true and upsert true, and that will actually create it if it didn't need to. So, or if it needs to.
And then return it.
Yeah. So technically, we should be able to do that and channel model find when an update. So find the channel with that Twitch ID. And we actually don't want to store the refresh token. We really just want to set, I mean, for the channel, it could just be just set the Twitch ID.
Yes.
Cool. And let's do a promise all for this, because it can happen simultaneously. And then that. Cool. And that should give us back the user and the channel. And then I guess we can respond with that.
Oh, okay. I figured out my issue. Trying to use extends, but that's more like a class, but I'm trying to have a type that implements the other one.
Where are you at?
I'm in channel.js.
Okay.
So I have this. Let's see. Okay. So it's channel.
Chanel. I think it's 2 N's, yeah.
No, but not like this, but like this.
Oh.
No. That should be it though. Maybe there's something wrong with the import.
And you're trying to give us autocomplete that has like .save and different things like .find one update and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. Hold on. Document. That's what we want? No. Okay, hold on. Let me move this to like here. Maybe. I'll figure it out.
All right, I'm gonna catch up on the chat while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Coding Room is asking, how long can you guys write code? Very long time.
Long time.
Long time, yeah. Jan says maybe it's time for NodeMon. Maybe we'll do that next. Yeah, we'll answer that in a second. ATD has a question about our personal lives away from coding. Manny Manatee is asking, what color is my chroma key? Yeah, it's blue.
Got it.
You can see if I get closer. It's blue. You got the autocomplete?
Got it.
Sweet. ATD says, I think Alca and CJ like the same keyboard switches. What kind of switches do you have? Well, I guess it's the...
These are equivalent to blue.
Okay, I think mine...
MX blue.
I don't really even know. I'm not a keyboard nerd. Or like, I don't know that much about keyboards.
Oh, Ninja Buddy's here.
ATD is asking, is JSDoc for other people who might work on this project later? Yeah, and it's also for us, right? So Alca just added this comment here, channel model, and then it's actually, he's importing a type to describe that channel model is of that type. And so because we export it there, now in our Twitch file, when we say like channel model dot, we now get this really nice autocomplete that tells us like what are all the built-in functions, and it's basically like having the Mongoose documentation right inside of our editor, which is pretty sweet.
And as well as the Twitch ID and the enabled property.
Channel model.
Have you written the enabled for channel?
Oh, it should use the default if we don't leave it in, right?
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that way we don't overwrite it if it was like disabled or enabled.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's good to go. Let's try it again. Actually, I mean, while we're at it, let's just install NodeMon and then use that.
Okay.
Install it as a dev dependency, NodeMon. VS Code pro tip. When your cursor is in a variable, type F2 and it will replace the variable name. It will do this with the correct scope. So variables with the same name are ignored. Yeah, I don't do that often enough. I think you told me about that.
I did.
Like press F2 to rename. That is my break timer.
Yeah, it's super great. I use it all the time.
You want to get a stretch in?
Ooh, good cracks.
Cool. Yeah, so the, ATD is mentioning about Axios. That is why I prefer to use Axios over just plain old fetch, is because it catches errors based on status code. Robin has a suggestion. So data extract. Oh, this is
Yeah.
specifically for the like the Twitch API when we're doing like that weird.
Yeah, we could do that, but
Instead of this down here.
we're not going to have the user be like the value 0 or something. So
Okay.
if it's undefined, we then go to null. I think it'd be overkill to use the defaults.
Okay. Juan Copero, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Bugs are gone, says ATD. Yeah, we figured it out. I think we're at a better cadence now that we're back into coding. ATD is saying live share looks butter smooth now. I remember there being latency issues when I tried to use it probably like a year ago. I mean, it seems to be working pretty fine. So
yeah.
Just a comment from Zachary. I've been coding for a little over a month. It's been awesome catching your streams and seeing full stack web dev in action. Helps to cement the concepts I'm learning. Thank you. You're very welcome, Zach. Thanks for tuning in. Ninja Bunny 9000 says, "OMG, Alca." She said, I thought I missed this. No, we streamed for like a little over 3 hours earlier. Now we're 45 minutes in. And we're really just doing backend stuff. We haven't even used tmi.js yet. Hello, Bagan. Welcome to the stream. We're close, yeah. So like we're almost at the point because we just inserted the
channel in the user.
Yeah, we have to test it, but ideally we just inserted the channel and the user into the database. So we're like here. Then once we have that, I don't know. More code.
More code.
More code. I can't think straight. Ninja Bunny is saying autoplay brought her here and just randomly heard our voices.
Impressive.
Hello, Emmanuel. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can just answer this really quick. So a question was from ATD. What do you each like to do when you're not coding, streaming, and working?
Games.
What games do you play?
So I play a lot with specific other people. Mm-hmm. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, modern Minecraft, especially with Ninja Bunny. Overwatch is great fun. Got a jacket with Overwatch on it.
Right here. Nice.
A few other games here and there.
Cool. Yeah, I tuned into CSGO. I saw Ninja Bunny was playing Minecraft last night, and you were like on the audio chat, I guess, playing the game with her.
Yeah, that was in the game.
Yeah,
it was multiple.
Cool. Myself, I like to make music. Actually, Thursday I went and jammed with a friend. I haven't jammed in a long time, but we rented a practice space. I brought my guitar and some pedals, and we just played for like 2 hours. So I like music. I really just like coding. I don't know. That's my thing.
Yeah.
ATD says they like Overwatch as well. And I have some nice. Are those Overwatch emotes? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, those are Widowmaker, and not sure if that's more Widowmaker, but good character for the game.
Yeah. And
then I have Overwatch official emotes.
Nice.
And those are more as well.
Everyone with the Overwatch emojis.
Yeah.
Bagan is asking, is Alca a Google developer expert?
No.
I think that's like an official title. I think you can get some sort of certification that makes you a Google developer expert.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we just installed NodeMon. Let's update our package JSON and add like a dev script right here.
I have well over 120 Overwatch League emotes.
Oh wow, where do those all come from?
Watching Overwatch League, the channel, and also using bits.
Ah, okay.
To unlock specific things, or being a subscriber to the pass, and then watching in a certain mode.
Okay.
So essentially, interacting with the channel gets you emotes.
Sweet.
Forever.
Okay, we have NodeMon. We're connected. Moment of truth. Do we get a user and a channel into the database? Let me copy the redirect string. Go. Hey! Oh no, that's a refresh token. Oh, okay, they don't have a client secret though, so that's okay.
No, I'm not scared.
So yeah, so we have the user object, which has the Twitch ID. The refresh token, which you can't do anything with unless you have our secret. The channel is enabled false by default, and we have the Twitch ID. Sweet. And if we attempt to do that login again, it should be an upsert, so like nothing really changes except for the refresh token.
Yeah.
Cool. Virtual high five. Oof.
All right. More of them.
Awesome.
Can't see that.
Ninja Bunny says, I want to get back into drumming so bad. Practice spaces are super sweet because like you just pay by the hour and you can like go ham on the drums. Yeah. Hello, I am Fletcher. Okay, what next, Alca?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We could start creating the bot itself.
I think so, yeah. I mean, so how about this? We create an endpoint where a logged in user can enable or disable a channel.
Okay.
And then whenever a channel is enabled, our bot will start listening for that channel.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we potentially want some like API endpoints. Does that make sense? Like an API folder.
Sure.
And then we'll like start creating some routes for channels. So like you can make a post request to channel/enable.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just bring in Express. We'll create ourselves a router. No, not that. Express.router. Module.exports is the router. Yeah, so like a router.post. This thing will be mounted at I guess channels. And if you post to a given ID/enable.
Okay. Do we want to be more specific?
In what way?
Okay, we're already at channels. I think we're fine.
Yeah, so I mean, and this gets at like, we're kind of like not being very restful at this point because this potentially could be like just a put or like a patch request to the channel with a given ID. Mm-hmm. And that allows us to either enable or disable it.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sure.
Patch? Okay.
I think that's fine.
Let's do patch.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay.
I've never used a patch.
Okay.
I used Apache, but not recommended.
So yeah, we can patch, and then we'll check the request body for like an enabled property. So I think the main thing is when you're enabling a given channel, you have to have the rights to modify that channel. Mm-hmm. So if we look at our database model, like a user just logged in, we have the refresh token in the DB, we've inserted the channel. So what will the client need to send to this endpoint for us to validate that they are? I mean, should we actually create like a JSON web token?
I would like to do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
I like that.
All right, so let's install JSON web token. Cool. Okay. So we have it. Part of our env, we're also going to need a JWT secret. And then I think also part of auth is so after we insert or update that user in the database, we create a JSON web token that has the Twitch ID inside of it. So I'm in the Twitch.js file. I'm just going to bring in JSON web token. Have you ever used util promisify?
Just a little bit.
I kind of want to do that because the default JSON web token is like callback based.
Callback, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually just wrap it with my own promise.
Let's do it. So actually, I'm going to create a separate file in lib for working with JSON Web Tokens.
Sounds good.
So lib, new file, JWT. And then we'll have like a function sign.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, buddy.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Excuse me.
No worries. Thanks. I think this should just take in.
There's no way for me to get to the bottom without disrupting you, so I just had to do it.
Okay, no worries.
Excuse me.
So that takes in the Twitch ID. And then we can do jwt.sign. Takes in the payload. I think Twitch ID is all we should need in the token, right? Like,
yeah.
Because when you're updating a channel, we'll just validate. At least for now. Once we start adding managers, then it gets a little bit more complex because it's not just the Twitch ID and the token. It's, do you have a row in the managers table for this given channel ID?
Yeah. Should we use channel ID instead?
In the token, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
That'll be more seamless for anyone else.
Yeah. So we'll bring in the config. And did you add the JWT token to config?
I did.
Okay. Did you add it to the type definition?
I did not.
And how long should this token last? A day? An hour?
An hour?
1 hour?
Yeah.
Expires in 1 hour. Okay, so we're gonna assign a token that just has the channel ID inside of it. We're using the JWT. Oh no, sorry, JWT secret is what it's called, right?
Yes.
There we go. It expires.
And it is base 64 encoded, if you care.
Yep.
I believe there's a thing to do with that.
Okay. So those are our options, and then we can do our callback. So I think the callback is, yeah, error, and we should get the token string.
We'll do secret.
Oh, I've always just passed it in as a string.
Yeah, but it's even more secure if you get it from the basics.
Okay, cool.
Well, I don't know if it is more secure, but it feels better.
All right.
Because you've written something that's complex.
I trust you. Okay.
Also in the documentation.
So this needs a new. We're gonna wrap this token signing in a promise. Reject. And all of this goodness goes in there. And here we will resolve the token, but if there was an error, we'll reject it. So if error, return reject with error, but we'll otherwise resolve the token. Cool. So when a user logs in, we're going to create a token with that channel ID. And we can handle the verify in a second, but let's get that token generated in here. So in the Twitch.js file, I'll bring in JWT. And we should be able to do, before we send the response, const token equals await jwt.sign with the channel ID. Do I have the channel ID? I don't have the channel ID. It's the Twitch ID, but... Actually, that's what makes me think this should actually be Twitch ID instead of channel ID. Because if a user logs in that is a manager for a channel, but it isn't their channel, their JSON Web Token would have their channel ID, not the one that they're moderating. Right?
Well, I was thinking if it was like a special case, you would have the channel ID be the one for the actual channel, and then their Twitch ID would be their own Twitch ID.
Okay. Or
we could always have both of them. And if it's the same, then it is the broadcaster.
That's true. All right, let's do that then. So both have the token will have both the Twitch ID and the channel ID that that they're logging in to moderate for. And so, but in this case, the channel ID is the Twitch ID. We haven't really differentiated.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna put Twitch ID in here.
Okay.
Because I think later on what we'll have to do is actually query the managers table to see like what channels you're allowed to moderate, and that's where we'll check to see if you're allowed to update a channel.
Okay.
Yeah. Where was it? Okay, so the sign method should take in the Twitch ID. Cool. That gives us back the token. Token has already been declared. Oh, that's the access token. Okay. Login token?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right, let's test it out. So if we attempt to log in as this user again, we should now be getting back a token. Site is not running. Yeah, here we go. Ta-da! We have a token.
There's a token.
Sweet. Hello, Jewel is lazy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna catch up on the chat.
Okay.
Jan is saying if you pass version key false as an option to Mongo models, it'll remove the _v as well. That'd be good. I mean, do it. Yeah, we don't really want this weird _v thing. Let's do that.
That's an option.
Yeah, can you look up and see where that goes? Like, is that?
Well, I assume it goes here.
Where are we?
We can't check because you've broken it out in Twitch.js.
Where?
Or 48.
Line 48. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Version key false.
Here, if I set the type to, I always forget, import mongoose dot, let's see, options for, let's see, query update options.
Jan is saying they mean in the schema.
The schema.
Yeah, I guess not in the query options.
One validator save session. That seems right. There's no version there. This is run validators.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Lucid chart, yes. Yeah, it's fun. The first like hour of the stream, we were just figuring out the data model with Lucid chart. She says to hook up the bot to the JavaScript speech recognition API. That might be interesting. You can talk to the bot.
Yeah.
Thanks for the YouTube sub, Peter Klein. Appreciate it. Thanks for the Twitch follow, Manny Manatee. Welcome. Cool. Be safe, Ninja Bunny. Bagan is saying no prettier. Do you use prettier?
I do not. I just write it all pretty myself.
Yeah. Jewel is lazy says Docker is giving me a headache. I just don't want to worry about stuff anymore. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Jan does say in the schema. So
okay, let's check it.
Yeah. So if we look at the, I guess the
channel.
Yeah, channel model.
Yeah, still gotta write the JS stuff for everything else.
Well, do you pass the options right here?
Maybe.
I think so. And then
see the constructor. Yeah, there's schema definition, and then there's options. Schema options.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. So and then version key false in the options there.
Yeah, I see that in the IntelliSense.
False.
All right. Yeah. No, I definitely want it.
Yeah, so we have that there, and then we can add that in the user model as well. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. So now if we try to log in again, we should get same result, but without the version key. And thanks for the follow, Dracomir. Welcome to the show. Here we go. The version key is still there. Oh, I mean, the server should have restarted, right?
Yeah, I think because it's already there.
Oh. Like,
we're still going to get it back.
Yeah, before the model, because, yeah, the model was already created. Technically, I guess we could, like, drop the database and then...
Sure.
Should we?
I don't necessarily know why we would not want the version to be in the database. We just would exclude it from our response.
Yeah.
And this is only a temporary response, right?
Yeah.
We're not gonna want to send the refresh token. We would pick out the Twitch ID and only send the Twitch ID if we were to have this as a.
I mean,
action.
Yeah. Ultimately, I guess our front end will use. So, like, the front end will potentially use this info. So we might actually like put the token like in a cookie or something like that, so that the front end can now use this token to make requests to the back end, and we might also include the Twitch ID in the cookie as well. But actually, no, I mean the Twitch ID is inside of the token.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so we have off up to this point. Now we should verify our tokens so that way we can have the channel endpoint only allow the owner of a given channel to make updates to it.
Okay. I've already written the verify function.
I gotta find the file. There we go. Oh, you already wrote it? Nice.
Yeah.
So JWT verify, passing the token we're verifying, and the secret. Sweet.
I don't know if you have any options that you'd like to set, but
no, that's usually how I do it too.
Okay.
Cool. So we probably need a middleware now to like validate tokens on the incoming requests.
Yep, sounds good.
Do you like a separate middlewares folder or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Whatever makes sense to you. I fully agree.
Yeah, let's do it. Not that. Middlewares. For now, I'll just put them all in one file. We'll have like a decode off header middleware.
Okay.
And this file will bring in JWT. And then we can just say const auth header equals request.get authorization. And if auth header is a thing, because what I'm thinking is this middleware basically runs on every single request. And yeah, even requests that don't have the auth header will I guess give it. So we'll basically just always call next. To make this an async function, so yeah. Oh yeah, my spacing is off. Indent using tabs. You know what? You might have converted me, Alca, to do
tabs are great.
Tab indentation. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, I didn't. Yeah. Yes, it does. Okay. The token is going to be the auth header. Really just split on a space and then the thing at one.
Okay.
And
do you want to check if token?
Yeah, because
or we could have that in the jot functions. Unless you think that's not as efficient, but
I mean, either would work. Let's leave the jot
alone.
Yeah, leave it as simple as possible.
Okay.
Like it just assumes that whatever you give it is an actual token. Yeah. So if token is a thing, then we can await JWT.verify token. Let's call this user, I guess. And then, really, I guess this should be a try catch because if the decode fails, then we don't set.
You like log or do you like error?
Yeah, error is good because it'll show up red. Error validating token. I can pass in the token. Cool. So we have our user. If this was successful, we can say like rec.user equals user. Cool. Why is this complaining? Require automatic updates. No. So we're going to grab the authorization header. If it's there, we'll then split it on its space to get the token after bearer. If the thing actually exists, then we'll attempt to verify it. If it was valid, we'll put it on rec.user. If it was not valid, we'll just log the error. But overall, it just keeps on moving to the next middleware function. So yeah, we're exporting decode auth header. So now, like in our main app, we can use it. So let's say like middlewares is require middlewares. And then you can just use it right here. App.use middlewares.decode auth header. Cool. And then now in our API/channel, we can really just make sure that
instead of searching through the folder structure, you can control click on like require statements.
Oh really? Let's see.
Yeah, it just jumps. So if you hover over the channel in the require,
right here, and then control click.
Yeah, control click.
Or maybe for me it's
command click.
Command click.
You should have an underline on channel.
I see it's pointing to a module.
Works for me.
Control click?
Like I see the module thing.
I think I could do go to definition, and I think that does the same thing.
Okay.
But I don't know. Okay.
I have something slightly convenient for some reason.
So this patch endpoint will be for updating a channel with a given ID. I think right now I just want to test that the token in the header thing is working. So like let's just res.json rec.user. So like if it decoded the token, we should get the decoded value, right? Katoli is saying alt click. Let me try that. Oh yeah,
there you go.
That did it. Nice. Yeah, and Bagan is suggesting that we can technically pass into the query to like get rid of that __v thing.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried either.
Yeah. Ninja Bunny says, I just casually walked past a Bungie exec while getting groceries. Seattle is weird. What is Bungie?
Game company.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like Halo and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. As you can tell, I'm not plugged into the game scene. Okay. Yeah, so let's test this thing with Postman, I guess. I'm gonna hide my screen for a second. I don't know what weird things I have open in Postman.
Look at my ass.
Nothing weird, unfortunately. Cool. So we're going to be making a patch request to our http:// localhost 888.8 /API/channel/ the channel ID. So if we look back at the response that we got, the channel ID is that. And well, right now, let's not send any header. We should just get back like undefined. Null, cool. But if we say authorization, and the value is bearer, and then our token value here. Hey.
Cool.
Very good. So ultimately what we want to validate, at least for now, is that the Twitch ID in the token is equal to the ID that we're trying to update. So all right, there's my break timer.
Okay.
I think once we get this update route working, let's just take like a 5-minute break. Okay. If rec.params.id is equal to rec.user.
Twitch ID.
Do it. Else, an error. And actually, we should set up like a default express error handler.
Yes, we haven't done any of that.
Yeah. But so we'll call next not allowed. Call next with the error, but we will need to set up that error handler. Oops, what happened?
I usually prefer return early.
So
I would error first.
Do it. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but go ahead.
So I would invert the logic, do this in.
Okay.
And then return.
Makes sense.
And then everything else we do is here.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm just gonna put a to do here. To do. Check moderation collection 2 instead of just user ID.
Manager.
There you go. Awesome. So yeah, if it didn't match, we're gonna throw an error. Otherwise, I guess I'll pull in the channel model.
Okay.
db/channel, and then we can do channel model dot find, or actually we can do the very similar logic like find and update.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I think I need to set this to not document but model. That's what I'm missing on this one.
Where are you at?
I'm in channel.js.
In the DB?
Yes.
Okay.
So I set these to document. I think we need model.
Cool. Then we're in the...
There we go. Back in channel.js for the API.
Cool.
And find and update.
Yep, find and update. The query is just by Twitch ID. So actually, let me destructure it up here.
Awesome.
Twitch ID. That's going to be rec.params. And let's rename this to Twitch ID. Cool. So find one where that is the Twitch ID. And then in the request body, I think we'll just look at enabled. So enabled should be, and actually let's destructure that too. So
okay. We also need to parse JSON bodies.
Oh, good call. Yeah. So parse JSON bodies and like a default express error handler.
Yes.
Okay, yep. And then we do need to pass in. If you see how we did it in Twitch, we need to pass in that new true upsert true. Well, no, we're not upsert.
No upsert.
Yeah, sorry, never mind. And actually, yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, I don't think we need any of that. I think really we should also have a check, just see like, does this channel with this Twitch ID exist? And if not, return like a 404. Because
well, this will do that.
In terms
it'll try to find it and then update it.
Okay, but if it can't find it,
it returns null.
Returns null. Okay, so we can handle that logic then. So this is like
channel.
Yeah, channel equals await that. This does need to be an async function. And then
I see an issue with my JS doc.
Okay. But we can say like if channel, we will res.json the channel. Or I guess we can do your early return thing. So like if not channel, return next with an error. Well, actually, we just do next because then we can have a 404 error handle, 404 handler too.
Okay.
And if channel was a thing, we're just gonna res.json channel. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So back in our main express setup, we need body parsing middleware. There's that. And then we need an error handler. Well, I guess, all right, let's tag team it. I'll write the 404, you write the error handler.
All right.
Cool. I'm going to catch up on the chat really quick. Oh, Bungie made Halo. I didn't know that. Katoli says, I've been using Google Docs this afternoon for school project, and I really miss the multi-cursor from code editors. Yeah. Robin says, you have an Alfred update. Please update Alfred. You know what? I feel like I've seen that prompt for Alfred update for a long time. Yeah. I am Fletcher says, I love the whole, it's okay. Okay, it's stretch time. This is a stretch, right? I think so. Like, just like, you know, get the body moving. Yeah. Thanks for the YouTube sub. Fantastisch. Welcome, Sputnik, to the stream. Okay, I appreciate that, Katoli. And thanks for the follow, Zizmar2. Welcome. Okay, so if environment is development, I guess we can respond with like a stack trace. Usually what I do is
not too sure what you want.
Yeah, so I'll show you what I normally do. So I'll just actually keep the res.json like that. And then the stack trace is just like conditional based on environment. So like you have stack and if config.nodeenv is production, then nothing. Otherwise, error.stack. And that should show us the stack trace.
Could this be undefined? And then it won't be there at all?
Yeah, it just won't show up at all, definitely. I guess the other thing is to automatically set the outgoing status code to 500 if it's not set.
Yeah.
So like res.status code.
I wasn't too sure how that would handle with the previous status. If the status gets sent immediately, or
so usually, so like on line 32, I'm saying res.status 404. That sets status code to be 404. So what we can do is say like res.status. So if res.status code is equal to 200, then default to 500. Otherwise, use whatever status code was passed in. So if an error handler above us set the status code, it's going to use that. Otherwise, it'll default to 500. Should do it. No errors. That's good. Look at the API. We have our update. So if the IDs don't match, we do a next error. That should go to the error handler. If we didn't find the channel, meaning we tried to update something that's not even in our database, it should go to the 404 error handler. And otherwise, it'll just respond with the channel. Cool. So at this point, we need to make a post here, and in the body, we'll say like enabled true.
Okay.
Go.
Oh.
First try.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it should work in the opposite way too. Say like enabled false. Yep.
There you
go. One thing about this though is we can like send random properties, and I think it'll still accept it, but it's really only looking at enabled. Or like, what if we accidentally set enabled to be like a string? Will Mongoose handle that?
Only if we run the validators.
And I
could say.
So it's erroring out. I think we actually need a try catch. Let's see.
Okay. What's the error?
What is the error? Cast a Boolean fail. That's decent enough.
Okay.
So I think we just really need to wrap this in a try catch.
We could check the value itself, ourselves.
This is true. But for that, we could pull in like a validation library. Actually, I mean, I think the point of What? Go
Be
ahead.
pretty simple to do ourselves,
It would, but I'm thinking.
or we could use Joy.
But I'm thinking for like other scenarios where we're updating more than just one property. I think that's what Mongoose helps us with because it's already doing the validating.
Yeah.
So I say we don't even check it because Mongoose is
Okay.
gonna check for us. Yeah. So if in, well, actually, no, all of this needs to happen in here, and then we'll just do a return next with the error.
Okay.
So if there was a validation error, that should forward it to the error handler. Go. Yeah, cast a boolean failed for value. Good enough? What do you think? You want to check it? What do you want to do? Go like.
I think at that point when we have the error, maybe we shouldn't write our own error if we're not in production. No, the message seems messy.
Yeah, cast a boolean failed for value. I agree. I guess we could look and see if like the error type of error is cast error. I don't know. We also could just validate it beforehand. I'm leaving this up to you, Alca.
Validate it beforehand.
Yeah,
really...
okay. Do you.
If enabled, let's see, type of. What we can say, just undefined or enabled. Let's see, type not equal. Doesn't matter. Well, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. So if enabled,
missing,
yeah, if it's missing,
it's not a boolean,
and not a boolean, yeah.
Some error. What do we want to say?
Enabled must be a boolean. And potentially, like, this is the error that we surface on the front end, like, once we're building a front end. So I think that's good. All right, let's see it. Enabled must be boolean.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, we're making progress. We just enabled a channel. Oh, actually, no, we didn't. Cause, but if we set that to true, cool. So now this channel is enabled. Next up, we fire up the bot. We listen for any channels that are enabled. Cool, but I think we should take a break because it's been an hour and a half. I'll catch up on the chat and then we can go. Yeah, hello Billy, welcome to the stream. Hello Abdel Hamid, and hello Rabbitworks, here to chill. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, but when we come back, tmi.js, right? All right, let's do a 7-minute break. I'm gonna walk around and then we'll be back. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Hello, friends. We're back. Good night, Dirkerall. Thanks for tuning in. No, we're not done Rabbitworks. We're just taking breaks because we've been coding for a very long time. See you later, Con. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, just taking a break. Gotta stay fresh. Pair programming live stream marathon. It's so true. Thanks for the follow, Furriness. Appreciate it. Sorry about that, Jula's lazy. I guess you had the stream on in the background.
Yeah, surprise.
Surprise! Here we are. Cool. So at this point, what we have done is we've created this patch endpoint for channels where you can basically enable the bot on a given channel. So I think at this point we can get tmi.js going. And I guess what I was thinking of, Alca, is we potentially have like the TMI and the bot logic in a separate file, and anytime someone enables a channel, so like in here we can check and see like if enabled is true and the channel was updated, then we like know to listen on that channel. And so like it would call a method in the bot to tell it that this is another channel that it should be listening for messages on. Okay.
I almost want to have the bot as a separate service.
So like not even included in the Express API?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
And then like RPC to control it.
So you can like
procedure.
Yeah, so they can actually send each other messages, like the because they'll be running on the same machine, right?
Yeah.
And then they can send messages back and forth to say like, hey, start listening on this channel.
I don't know if that's too complex. We could make the API between them within the same thing sort of just work that way for now, and then later separate them. I don't know if
I'll let you decide. Like you're
umbilical cord or not.
You're the expert here. I'll follow. What do you want to do? Let's do it.
I mean, I prefer to have them separate, but I think maybe for this we'll just have it as the same.
Okay, that's for
process
next weekend or whenever we.
It's so that the server can be alive, but have the bot restart, or have many bots, a cluster of bots.
I see.
If it were like that big.
Let's just do it, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like separate folder called bot, and that's where all the TMI stuff happens. What do you think? Okay, let's do it. New folder, bot. And we'll need like a package JSON in that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we're gonna npm init it. We'll install tmi.js. Anything else the bot will need? I guess, what do we do for RPC? Is there like a core node module or?
I'm not sure if there is. I know there is, but no, core, no.
Okay.
Other than like a really basic network connection, like net.
I mean, technically we could just use like a UDP socket connection.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll install TMI.
I'm not sure so much about a UDP.
But yeah, sure.
A little more complex. TCP.
Yeah, some sort of socket so they can.
It's just net.
Yeah.
Or TLS if we want to go that way.
Yeah.
I think we're fine in the same server.
Okay. Thanks for the follow, Velda Draws. Welcome. Velda Draws, I think. Cool. So in this bot folder, probably again have like a source folder. And there we'll have our index.js.
Gotta set all that up again.
Like the ESLint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we will. Install a dev dependency for ESLint. And then we should be able to just copy our linter file.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cool. You want to get us going, set this up? So I guess like require in TMI.
Okay. Let's see where are we? Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first, I'm going to set secure to true. Not really necessary since we're on a server, but why not? Reconnect to true, so it automatically reconnects on disconnect.
Okay.
There's nothing really else here that's important. If we could connect to a our own server with our own port and be able to sort of not alias proxy the data, the IRC.
Yeah.
So we could even manipulate it on a different process. There's reasons for that, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I think for now we're good.
There's identity, so we have username and password, which is our username and a OAuth token.
Okay.
So we need to be able to get that.
Cool. I'll actually install .env in here as well.
Okay.
And we can do a very similar thing with the config that we were doing on the server. This thing. Cool. In this case, we really just need
we'll definitely need the client ID and the client secret
for Twitch.
Unless we make like our own module to handle all of the Twitch stuff. It's like shared library code between the server and the bot. Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, we probably. I mean, this is good. This is good though. We're getting complex, but probably we like a separate folder outside of this called lib that we can reuse in both folders.
Yeah, it's kind of weird jumping up out of like a project into like a larger project around it. But
yeah, have you ever used Lerna before?
I've not.
Have you used it?
Is it the mono repo type of stuff?
Yeah, so it's a mono repo, and basically you can have internal dependencies, and it handles like sim linking all of those.
Interesting.
So which part of it are we going to be reusing? Is it like basically the Twitch API?
Yeah. Database stuff.
True. Yeah.
I need to represent all of that.
Should we just put the bot in the server folder?
Okay, that's okay.
It's fine. It was a cool digression, but at least for now, just to not complicate things. I mean, I think we can definitely for me, it's like it's a lot easier to like build the thing out and then figure out how do we refactor it and pull things apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. So we'll leave the bot folder there for now, but we can take like this TMI code and let's create a bot folder inside of our server folder.
Okay. So that was just a taste of what we could do.
Yeah, definitely. So we have our index, and then that stuff's gonna go there. Cool. But now, because we're in here, we can actually require in our config. Yeah, and then we need to decide what will be in there. So in our environment in our environment variables, I guess we need bot username.
Mm-hmm. We could either have the bot username in there, or we can get that from
the database.
Refreshing the token.
Yeah.
What database? Or...
What do you think?
Well, if we're already going to be getting the token, we could just get the username from there, because the username must match the token.
Right.
Either way.
Okay.
And if we decide to change the name of the bot, we just get the new token. We're good.
That's true. Okay. So
internal MongoDB username doesn't really matter at that point.
So I guess to bootstrap this, we would basically go into our database, grab the refresh token, make the API request, which gives us the username, and then we log in with the bot. Is that?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay. So we'll actually pull in our bot model here as well. Bot. And then I guess we'll need to query it, like bot model dot find one.
Find one.
No params, and it should just give us the bot.
Yeah.
Can we do top? Can we do top
Not
level
yet.
await? No. Okay.
I've had to do an iffy or just use the then and find one.
I guess could we potentially wrap this in a function that's like bot startup or
sure.
Yeah.
Init.
Yeah, init. Let's call it init. And this can be an async function.
Okay.
And then all that code will go in there. Yeah, you got it. Go for it.
You already have it selected. Yeah.
Sweet. So find the bot. That then we'll need to make the Twitch API request using the bot's refresh token, right?
Yeah.
Because if we look back at our database model, a bot has a refresh token. A bot has a name too, though.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, though, the name could change. I think we should call the Twitch API.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we'll bring in the Twitch API right here.
Is that lib Twitch API?
Yeah. Cool. And I guess we'll have to look at the docs, but it's like Twitch API.
Yeah, how do we want to write that?
So at this point, we have the refresh token. So first, do we need to request an access token?
Yes.
Okay. And we can look at the API docs for that.
So you got to go back to authentication at the top.
Okay, authentication.
And then validating request.
Here we go.
Refreshing access.
Yeah, cool. So how to refresh? You need an access token coming from a body. Wait.
So that's us getting the initial access token.
The initial one, right? To refresh this, we need to call the token endpoint. If I look in lib Twitch API, we already have a token endpoint?
No, we do not.
No. Okay. So we're going to need another method. Oh, I didn't copy. There we go.
It's weird that does this.
Yeah, well, I have like an auto closing tag thing, so like
yeah, but like we're in JavaScript, but
yeah,
use Angular or whatever.
Cool. So if you start writing that method, I'm just gonna catch up on the chat.
Okay.
Hello, the coding cat. Welcome to the stream. Jewel hates Docker and hates Linux. You'll figure it out, Jewel. We believe in you. Thanks for the follow, Doomer Boy. Yeah, Shaggy says we can refactor that later. That's like the the theme of this whole thing.
We will refactor that later.
Yeah. Robin is saying, shouldn't the bot communicate with the server instead of talking to the database directly?
Through the REST API? I mean, that
Possibly.
Seems like a lot of extra steps.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, because it has to go across the network. I think it's okay to just talk to the database directly. It's going to simplify a lot of things too, I feel like. But yes, but Robin is saying so that the bot is a client just like the dashboard will be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Let's see. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, so we're not on Helix, we're on the...
Oh, it's the ID server. One. Oh, I see. And we actually, did we have that code in...
Yes.
We kind of need to extract that into here, don't we?
Mm-hmm. That's in the auth Twitch.
Auth Twitch. Yeah. Okay.
we can export it from here. So I'll put it first alphabetically. And I'll just export that. I'll make some separation there.
Mm.
Then we'll import it from the Twitch API. That's where we're using it before down here. API.auth API. Post.
Here's my break timer if you want to stretch.
Okay.
Cool. So you took.
Now I have access.
Oh, I see. So we're really just bringing it the auth API from the Twitch API. Yeah. Okay, so then it's just auth API dot Twitch API.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Or Twitch API auth API.
Okay. The thing is though, these query strings, aren't we going to reuse that same one? No, it has grant type, refresh token, client ID, and secret.
Yeah.
We'll just create a new query string. Yeah. And so we're doing auth API dot post to token.
We don't have the config yet.
Okay.
And we're not doing code. It's that. Is that it? Refresh token? But refresh. That'd be an issue.
There you go. So grant type, refresh token, client ID, client secret. So this is going to be a post request. Yeah, I guess it's interesting. It's a post request, but the body is empty, right? Because the info is in the query string. And that should give us back an object that has the access token inside of it.
I believe the order matches matters. I've had that issue before.
In the query string?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think there was some point I read somewhere, some staff member said like the order matters. But whatever, I'll just match the documentation.
For sure. So that should be good. And then inside of data, we do have an access token property, but I think let's just return data, right?
Yeah.
And that will allow us to then call get access token in our bot code for whenever the bot starts up. So, yep. And then we can do Twitch API dot get access token. And then
refresh token from the bot.
Yep.
Which is refresh. How do we write token? Yeah.
And yeah, that looks good. Response, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry.
That kind of worked.
Sort of. It's like await mixed in with what I was typing. So we'll just say data. Await. Cool.
Thank you.
So that calls the Twitch API, gets us a access token. And so now, how does that work with identity?
So we just pass it in as the password.
As the password?
Yeah.
And I guess technically we need to call the API to get the bot's name too, right? Now that we have the access token.
Yeah, we can either use get user or we can use the validate, but pretty much we can just use get user.
Let's use get user because we already have that defined.
Yeah.
Here.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Get user with our data dot.
Yeah.
This token. We just want to grab our token out of the data.
Yeah, I like that.
And then down here.
Yep.
User dot. And then we don't have it set up in the IntelliSense, but I believe it's login.
Login is the username?
Yes.
And then password is the access token. Cool.
Checking the reference. Login, yep. I'll stick that in the IntelliSense. BFJS stuff.
Cool. So, I mean, technically this should connect and we should see like that IRC, or if we set debug true.
Correct.
Yeah, we should see like it's connected and we'll see some logging. So that's cool. So we're exporting this init function. I guess we can just call that in our main express file.
Okay.
Just do that right here. Acquire in the bot. We'll say bot.init. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens.
Do we need to wait for the database to start up? Or does Mongoose handle that for us?
I think Mongoose handles it. So Yeah, because
Just waits for the connection.
yeah, because it's gonna be connecting in the background, and then in here when we do like bot model.find one, I'm pretty sure it'll wait for the connection.
Okay.
But let's see.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
It might be quick enough. Who knows?
Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. I'm just gonna do npm start.
Database connected.
We should do
Nothing from tmi.js.
Yeah, we should do some logging. We definitely don't have this like in a try catch or anything like that.
Yeah.
I guess let's do that. Like all the codes goes in the try. Go.
Oh, you know what?
What's that?
We haven't actually done anything with our
client.connect. Cool. But we definitely need to log an error if it's happening.
Can you install at types /tmi.js?
Yep. tmi.js?
Yes. Cool. I also don't see that. Weird. Did it work? Yes, it did. Thank you.
Cool.
Might have worked without this. Yep.
No? Actually, yeah, I want to try to because I want to see.
And now it has.
Cool. I'm gonna
just because something with the capital C on there.
Okay.
And that is a promise that you can await.
The connect?
Yeah,
okay.
If you want to.
Cool. Yeah, let's try again. No way!
Hey.
Connected to server. And I guess we're not listening in any channel yet, are we?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything.
Wow.
Default.
High five.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
We need to find out what channels are enabled.
And then start listening for messages in those enabled channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So we have to call join for every single one of them.
Thanks for the follow, Project Mayhem. Eddie is saying, is it secure to have the bot directly access the database? I mean, so I will say, like, this is server-side code. Like, one thing about TMI is it can be used in the browser. But because this is running on the server side, it's in a secure context. Yeah, I don't see why that would be a bad idea. I mean, if the bot is, if we allow users to do like custom commands with like custom scripts, we could be opening ourselves up to like command injection and different things like that. But I think for now, we're gonna have pretty basic commands.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have to worry about that. You agree?
I agree.
Okay.
I've never had any security issues.
Okay, cool.
Myself.
So we've connected, and then I think at this point, yeah, we would query the database to get all of the connected channels.
I'm gonna reload my thing.
Okay, no worries. And so, yeah, I'm in the bot file. I'm actually going to require in the channel model. And then, yeah, after the bot has connected, we can await like channel model dot find, and really just want where enabled is true. Are you connected again?
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. So
you still have yours. Yeah, you have it set to spaces, by the way.
It keeps resetting. There you go. So yep, that finds the channels, and then I guess we iterate over the channels and start listening on each one.
Yeah, we can do it pretty simply for now.
Yeah.
Just because we have one channel to join.
Yeah, so it's really just like channels.forEach.
Yeah, or for loop, or because you could then await each of the joins to do a for loop.
Well, we could do a.
Well, you should join and then join and then join and then join, rather than join.
I see. So you
join.
So you would want to do. Actually, let's do this. We can like.
There is a rate limit.
Cool. So let's actually do a reduce, I think, and that will like we can pass in a promise and then get
Okay.
each individual.
I think a for loop would be prettier.
Right. Prettier.
Mhm.
Just watch.
Okay.
um,
I mean, connecting one then to the other then is okay.
yeah, I mean that's you know what, you're right. Let's just do a for loop. That makes a whole lot more sense because it reads a lot cleaner too. Well,
We
it's
could do a of for of.
okay.
Yeah. Const.
Yes. Of channels.
Yep.
And then we can await. What's the code? Client dot
Join.
join. And we can pass in the channel ID.
Channel name. So we need to know the channel name.
We don't have the channel name.
Right.
We need to make a Twitch API request. So, because channel, we have the Twitch ID.
Yeah.
So we do need to make the API request to get the channel name. Let's do it.
We could do up to 100 at one time.
In terms of requesting channel names?
Yeah.
I guess it might make sense to request all of the channel names up front. What do you think?
Maybe.
So like, right now we have the get single user function. We could implement get users, and that way we can pass in a bunch of channel IDs.
Okay.
Let's do that. So in our Twitch API, create a new function called get users.
Case we're taking IDs, but we're going to say ID because of the API. It makes it cleaner. This we're expecting an array. I can write IntelliSense or whatever. The JS doc layer. I'm not sure how. Well, if we're writing the query string user using new URL search params, we need to append each ID in the array, because if we pass in an array, it just concatenates it with the comma.
Okay.
So that doesn't work for the API. It's ID equals that, ID equals this, ID equals whatever.
So yeah, let me look at the Twitch docs really quick. So we're looking at new Twitch API, reference, get users, multiple users. So it's literally going to be like ID equals and ID equals and ID equals. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool.
So we need the same thing. Still gonna write for loops because I've kind of gone back to for loops.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I still use like map and whatever, but we're just iterating over a thing. I like it much better.
Yeah.
It's just constant of ID, append ID in. Okay. And then we'll pretty much just copy this part. Users, and we need a query string. We don't need authorization. We can pass in the bot token to get the better rate limit.
Okay. And so that's the bot's access token?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can have that as a property here in the options.
Okay.
So I'll bring back this token.
That works.
There, yep. And then we need to add the query string, which is just going to be appending that as query string. And we can do that as a
template. Yeah, we did it as a template in the other one. Cool. And that should do it. Data should be all our users.
Turn data.
All right, let's give it a try. So we'll export get users here.
And I'll write the JS doc real quick for the return.
Cool.
Because it's just going to return an array of Twitch API user. Twitch API user array.
Yep. And then I guess on the Twitch API user type, yeah, you already have login as the name. Cool.
Yeah.
Catch up on the chat real quick. Thanks for the follow, Raffalafaro. Welcome. Raffalafaro says, didn't know you were streaming on Twitch. I was passing by the science and technology category and ran into the stream. Yes, welcome. I only recently started simulcasting, so I'm streaming on both Twitch and YouTube now. Display viewer count merged from YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, that'd be cool. The thing is, like, I feel like those real-time APIs aren't that consistent. Like, number of real-time viewers. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so we have that user's endpoint, and if we go back to the bot,
Here we go.
basically before we iterate over the channels, we need to request all the channel IDs from Twitch. Yeah, so like, or I mean, it's technically it's still channels. It's let's call it Twitch channels, I guess. And that's going to be Twitch API dot get users. We need to pass in the token, and then ID is going to be channels dot map. And we need the channel dot Twitch ID.
Yep.
Yeah. And then really we'll iterate over. Yeah, we'll iterate over Twitch channels. Let's do that. Let's call this like DB channels.
Okay.
And then we can just call this channels. Is that how you spell channel?
Yeah.
Looks so weird.
But you see a word a lot, and you're like, is that
Chanel?
a word?
Chana? Cool.
No.
So that should allow us to join channel.login.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
You get IntelliSense for that?
I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
Twitch API user login name. Cool. I think what I'll do is actually just log channels right here, make sure we're actually getting something back.
Okay.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So let's start it back up. No way.
Join Coding Garden. So now if you go type in the chat, or if anyone would type in the chat.
Yeah, it's working.
There you go.
High fives. Sweet. I mean, like we're on our way, right? Like, ultimately, if we had like 100 channels in the database, it would have technically joined all of them and started listening for messages. Sweet.
We'd be well on our way.
All right. Yeah, all the emojis in the chat. That's Mom, I'm in the console. Sweet.
Yeah.
Jan is asking if I'm using Restream. No, I'm just using a Docker container called Multi-Streamer. It's an open source project. Robin is saying you might want to chunk the calls because if you keep appending IDs, eventually you'll end up with the URA being too long. Been there, done that. Have you ever ran into that?
I have not. Not with the Twitch API.
Yeah.
They take up to 100 IDs. They're not handling hitting 100.
Okay, let's just add it to do. We're not gonna do it right now, but let's say like in the get users to do handle more than 100 IDs. Ultimately, that would just be multiple requests. We would chunk them based on 100.
Yeah.
Cool. All these people are stuck in the console. Use CD to get out.
And if we're also going to do that, then I'm going to write it to do that says wait at least 350 milliseconds.
Cool.
Between channel joins.
Oh, should we do like a little sleep?
Yeah, you got to wait sleep.
Okay, let's do it. Well, let's make a little.
The join should be pretty quick on its own. It shouldn't take more than the latency of the connection, which is like going to be like 20 milliseconds probably.
Okay, and so I guess the thing is if we don't wait long enough, it'll rate limit us and be like, you're trying to join too fast.
Well, it will just disconnect us.
Okay.
They're pretty ruthless.
Let's do this. I'm gonna create a new file in lib just called sleep because we can create like a little awaitable thing.
I'll do a promise on that.
There's my break timer.
Yeah.
Cool. So sleep is a nice little function that returns a promise. So it can take in.
Staring at my cat.
No, no worries. So it'll default to sleeping 1 second. Oops, 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 lost all the things. Resolve.
Seems really long-winded.
But now we can sleep anything. So we call the sleep function. Actually, all module exports this. I mean, this is how to do it, right?
I'd rather create like a utility function or utility code. So it'd be called utils or something.
Oh, instead of
And
like
halves.
instead of just having a sleep file.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we could rename this to utils, and then export an object like that. Is that what you had in mind?
Oh yeah. This file was deleted, so.
Wait. Oh.
What? Yeah.
The one you had open. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. I like finished it like, what? How are you writing it still?
Okay. Cool. So now that we have that, we can bring it into the bot and make sure that we sleep between channel joins.
Let's see. It's up to the lib and then utils. Oh.
Does that not work? Sorry. I thought we could type it at the same time.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
And sleep for, let's say 350.
Cool.
Everything's good.
So we join the channel, sleep for 350 milliseconds, and then join the next channel.
Sleep.
Cool. Let's kill it, restart.
All right.
Nice.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, let's catch up on the chat. Lots of people are having fun with that. Yeah. Please type move I am Fletcher real world to I am Fletcher. This web console looks nice. No worries, Robin. Thanks for the follow, Baskin. Baskin is asking, so what's going on here? Yeah, we're making a Twitch bot. We're trying to make a Twitch bot that can actually listen and be a bot in multiple channels. So we've been streaming for a while today, but when we first got started, we kind of came up with this data model where essentially there's one bot. You then have multiple users in the system. Users belong to a given channel. And then now we've gotten to the point where a user can sign up to our service. We insert a row in our users table and in our channels table. We have a route where we can enable the bot on a given channel. And when the app spins up, the bot will start listening for messages in any of those channels. So this is going to get much more complex because now we need to handle commands and settings and different things like that.
And eventually an interface.
Yeah, and like a web interface where we can enable. Like,
I was kind of thinking
go ahead.
it'd be funny if we had like a hardcore bot where we just list out API endpoints for the bot. There's no interface. So if you want to enable the bot, you have to like throw it into
in Postman. Like you have to do a patch request. Yeah. I mean,
that'd be kind of fun.
It'd be fun. Yeah.
Experimental bot.
You basically only get users using your bot who know how to make network requests.
And they can make their own interface too.
That's true, because it's kind of like an open API.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An open bot.
Open bot. We should call it open bot.
Trademark.
Export const sleep. I am Fletcher is asking, how is V2 coming along, Alca?
V2 of tmi.js? I haven't touched it in a couple weeks.
Okay. Linus is saying, I'm just asking myself why I'm still up. It's because we're so entertaining. You just want to keep watching. Baskin says, your terminal looks pretty. Thank you, Baskin. Satis Namenya says, hello, Alca. Or
hello.
Emote, hello. Cool. All right. Where do we go from here?
Oh, where can we go from here? Yeah. All right, we need to be able to access the client from anywhere else. so that we can join channels later.
Yeah, so I guess what I was thinking, just real quick, so we can basically, if we put this into a function, like, so I'm in the bot file, put this into a function called like join all channels,
Mhm.
and then we could have another function that's like join channel or leave channel, and those can get called from the from within
API.
yeah from within API. So whenever someone updates a given channel, it either adds or removes them based on the update that was made. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So, I mean, I think it makes sense to put this in like a function called like join channels. And wait, do we give it access to the client? Should we have
A global.
yeah, almost like a global variable. So like let client here, and then whenever we create it, we just store it in that variable.
Yeah.
So that way it is then accessible.
We could create a function that says get client, and then if the client is still getting started, it would return a promise until it's connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we could like Mongoose is able to call find one immediately, and then it waits until it's ready.
I like that. So I mean, really, init could just be like, well, we do want init because like when the server starts up, we want it to
Yeah.
start listening. So we
It
definitely
would call its own
call
get
its own
client.
method. Okay, and then get client would, I guess basically do all of this if client isn't defined, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's write that.
Okay.
Thanks for the follow, HDG spin, HDG sin. So yeah, we have get client.
Okay. Otherwise, got to set up the client.
Yep, makes sense.
So let's see. We only need to do this part. We need the bot user and the access token. Ooh, not happy about that. Race condition. Client might be reassigned based on updated value of client.
We know what we're doing. There you go.
Okay. Let's see. Need that here as well. And this needs to be in the try catch, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which also doing database stuff. So
Yeah.
my new bot is here as well. Here. A lot of duplicate code on that.
Yeah. So I guess the get client will return the client instance, and it gets the bot from the database, calls the API. I mean, really, in init, we probably could just say get client right here, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's okay.
Oh, we don't have the token though.
Mm-hmm.
I see. That's why you left that. What if
Get
we
the token into the bot?
Yeah, what if we pass the token into get client?
Okay.
You know, I guess we could let's like we await get client because and we can pass in the token, and that's going to make sure that client actually gets assigned, so that way this will make sense right there. And then up here, we take in the token, and if there was no token, then we try to get the access token.
Okay.
It's gonna be like, does that work?
Uh-huh.
That will actually reassign token?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, I've never known how to do that with destructuring. Just
Yeah,
wrap
you just have to wrap it.
wrap in parentheses. Cool. Um, yeah. So init will find our bot. Oh wait. Yeah. So init will get the bot, find the token, get our client. Client will only request the token if it needs to. Um, looks good to me, right?
I think that I see some places where it could refactor, but we could probably touch that later.
Yeah, we will refactor that later.
Particularly in the Twitch API section.
Cool.
I feel
So
like instead of having to pass in the token, we could get the token from a more central thing, the DB, I guess.
yeah,
Rather than
well, I mean, and we could maybe have another module that's like token manager or something. I don't know.
sure,
So that was still able
it could
to.
just be part of the bot DB thing instead of exporting the model. I don't know.
Okay.
Or we can just apply it to the model.
So that's good to go. And then the purpose of doing that was now we can have a function like join or leave channel, like async function join channel takes in the
Login.
like the user's name.
Yeah.
We might have to take in the Twitch ID. Because if we take a look at API channel, this just has the user's Twitch ID. So we might have to get the user again. Yeah. So, oh, that's the wrong thing. Yeah. So we'll take in Twitch ID. We'll await get client. So that'll create it if it doesn't exist. And then we need to do one of these. Well, yeah, it's that, but technically, instead of calling get users, now we can just call. Well, no, our get user function is uses the access token. So actually, we do want something very similar. So here, let's do this.
What if check if Twitch ID is an array?
Yeah.
And if it is an array, then we make an array,
and
then we the same thing.
So that's why I think we should do join channels. Because it needs to. It basically this. Yeah, here we go. I got it. So join channels that gets the Twitch IDs, and then it does. Oh, but that needs the token. You know what? We should store the token on the client, like in this.
Yeah, as a
like a property, right?
Or something. Yeah. Something we can grab.
That way we can reuse it.
Well, it will be on the client already. Client identity, I think. Oops. I feel like it's there. Let me do it up here where I actually have things set up. And, no, it doesn't look good. Okay, so I think that was left out of the IntelliSense, or it's this being an issue. I'll put this up here. And I won't care.
Okay.
And then wherever we do it, identity, or maybe it's an options, get options. What is that? Identity dot password.
And that's going to be the token?
That's going to be the token.
Okay. So, oh, sorry. So really we could use that. Wait, where are we? Here.
Anywhere we need it.
Yeah, so if we take that and we'll use that in the join channels.
And get options is just returning options, I'm pretty sure. Like the property and options. I did not write the get options function.
Okay.
It's pointless, but it's what's in the IntelliSense, the TypeScript definition, which I didn't write again.
So if you look at the init function, we make sure the client is initialized. We then get all the channels from the database, get their IDs, and then we call join channels with those IDs. So and then when join channels gets called, ID is going to be an array of IDs.
Mhm.
We'll grab all those users and then we'll join each one. Yeah.
And that should be an array.
Yep. And that way, from our express route, we can actually just call this function but pass it an array of 1.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then I guess let's do a leave channel. You want to write that?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to call it part channels. Or it should just be one channel. I don't know if I'm going to part many channels.
Hmm.
You know. So let's see. It should still be channels. Channels. It's one channel. Yeah. Channel.
Okay.
Maybe let's export these channels. Right. There you go.
Cool.
Channel. And then this will be part channel login.
Okay. So that leaves the channel. Do we need to do any check to make sure that it's like already listening on that channel?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So if you leave it and it wasn't listening, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. So at this point, we should export the client as well. Well, no, we have the function, so we can import join channels and part channels channel into our express endpoint, and then it will call these functions. So let's do just that. So I'm in the channel.js in the API folder. Yep, you're there too. And so if the channel did exist at this point, really we can just say like if enabled, we can await join channels with the Twitch ID inside of it.
Yep.
And if it wasn't enabled, we part the channel. And it's not an array. Yep. Cool. So let's restart it. Let's try it out.
Okay.
So basically, once we hit the postman endpoint, so I'm gonna do.
Interesting.
So right now, it's currently joined, and like if we send a message, it's listening. But if we set enabled to false, it should leave the channel. Go. Oh no.
An error. Deprecation. And an error.
Let's see. Error validating token. Oh.
We're using the wrong token.
Well, that is actually our the JSON web token from earlier is expired. Here, that I'm using right here. So I just need to log in again, I guess. So let's do that. Here.
Auth base URL is not defined.
So this is gonna be this is gonna be in the Twitch, like the callback flow, auth Twitch.
Yeah, I see it's missing here. So we can export it and then import it here. Yeah.
I see.
Well, we're already exporting the auth API. Does that have a property of the base URL?
Maybe.
When you create? There's no IntelliSense for it. I dig into the source code.
Yeah, we can look at the Axios docs really quick.
I'll be right back. 1 minute.
Yep, no worries.
20 seconds.
Cool. I'll catch up on the chat while he's away. How do you do colors in the console? Actually, yeah, I don't think it'll interpret. So right now when it's logging it, it's just string, so it actually wouldn't interpret if you passed any of that in.
It does ASCII color code, escape codes.
Thanks for the follow, HDG Sin. Thanks for the follow, Demon Wolf. And Mr.
Demon Wolf.
Yeah, Mr. Demon Wolf, PogChamp, you.
Nice.
Hello. Mr. Demon Wolf is asking, wait, how does that get access token thing work? Does it refresh the token?
Magic.
Yeah, so basically we wrote the code to, so we're storing our refresh token in the database. So yeah, the user's refresh token, and the bot's refresh token is being stored. So when we need the access token, we send the refresh token with our client secret, which gives us back an access token, and then we can actually hit the Twitch API.
It's kind of a nice animation that came with it.
Wait, that's Alca? Says Cyber3? Yes, that's Alca. The keyboard needs more volume, says GamerX.
All right, I'll mic my keyboard.
There you go. What do we use for logging with the info on time? We ended up using a thing called Volleyball. It's on NPM. I'm gonna kill that. Did you fix the bug?
No. Okay. You were going to look at the Axios documentation.
Oh, true. Okay, so if we look at Axios,
I'll jump into the source.
instance.defaults.base URL should probably do it. So is Twitch API an instance of Axios?
Yes. No, it has properties that are. So the auth API.
Okay.
Twitch API .auth API dot.
So yeah, we'll do that right here. Twitch API dot auth API dot defaults dot base URL. Yeah. I think that's it. Is it complaining about anything else? Oh, it's yeah, and then we're not even using Axios anymore because we're importing importing those calls in. Okay. Start it back up. Cool. And now we'll attempt.
Let's see if it sends it to undefined.
Yeah, we'll attempt the OAuth flow. Sweet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so this is our token we'll now use to send to our API.
I'll take that.
And then here. Oh, geez. There's my break timer anyways. Let's take a stretch. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we are going to attempt to disable the bot. Let's look at the logs while this happens, because it should leave the channel. Go.
I did it.
Nice. And so,
it left ID 0, or ID 1. So somewhere we had an issue. You see, it left Elsmerfuzz or whatever.
Oh, and
he's ID 1. So something wrong happened.
Okay, so that's like the very first Twitch user versus the actual Twitch ID. Okay, so
let's see, part channel or whatever.
Twitch ID is coming from here. Part channel, we're taking in just the ID, and then in the bot, oh, ID needs to be an array, right?
Mm-hmm. No, yes.
So we say like make that ID is an array of ID.
Yeah. Or we can just have it part channels and just make that work.
What do you mean?
Instead of having it part channel, We could just copy join channels and have it be the same, but instead of join, we do part.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just I see.
Done.
But
And then you have to update the usage of it.
so now ID actually is an array.
Yeah, now it's expecting an array.
So let's call yeah. So let's say part channels. Part channels. Okay. And then from I see. So from the API point, we're always passing in an array.
Yeah.
Part channels, like that. Oh, we need to update the import. Part channels. Cool. So if we kill it, when it starts up, it actually shouldn't. Oh.
Prunerbot. Why'd you in Prunerbot? I think you had the. I think you signed in as Prunerbot.
Oh, instead of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I think this is coding.
No?
Garden. Yeah, it's coding.
Yeah,
Garden.
you're incognito for that.
There's too much code. We can't follow it. Okay, so let's see. So, because when I do the patch, Twitch ID, that's the coding garden channel. So that's the one that it should join. And when it starts up, it is calling join channels.
Mm-hmm.
So init, it's finding all the channels where enabled is true.
Should not be enabled for Prunerbot though.
Right. So why did that happen? And then we call join channels and let's just see. Oh, someone went to the Prunerbot channel.
Oh, you know what happened?
What's up?
Okay, so since we put the auth token, we got back the Prunerbot user in the API. So we're looking at the wrong user.
Well, we are calling get users though, which should actually request multiple, and it doesn't use the.
Yeah. It uses the auth token and the ID that we passed in.
Ah. So
we have to find on that data just exactly what we need. There's not an issue with get users necessarily. We could filter out the printer bot.
Yeah, but that ID is.
If we pass in an ID, then we can ignore the printer bot.
Okay.
Maybe. Or we can just switch to using client ID instead of the bearer token.
If we do that, we essentially get less requests, or possibly, or like, what's the downside?
Well, you want to know what the difference is? Authentication should be in here, I think. Maybe it's just in the reference for the Twitch API. The guide. Okay, so if the bearer token is provided, we get 800 points per minute per user. If we do not, it's 30 points per minute.
Okay.
So 800 versus 30.
Okay.
Quite the difference.
But I guess I'm not clear where it's using the token instead, because we're always calling get users, and that passes in.
We're passing in an ID in the query string, and in the header. So the Twitch API is getting both of the users, and this token is our bot.
Oh, you know what? I think it's also because the array is empty. So like, if the array is empty, we literally need to just return nothing. Because I think that's what's happening. Like, so.
Oh, because it's not finding any users.
Yeah, because there's no channels enabled in the database. So then it makes this request, and the query string is literally empty. So that requests its own user. So really, I guess, what does get users return? It returns just an array.
An array of API
Yeah,
users.
so we can just say, like, if not id.length, just return an empty array.
Okay.
So that way, if there are no channels enabled, it won't listen on anything. I think that's the winner. Cool. So it didn't connect anywhere. And then now in Postman, if we set enabled to false, it's going to try to leave, but it's not. Yeah, it's not there anyways. And then if we set enabled to true, it should join the Coding Garden channel. Yep.
Okay.
Cool. Virtual high fives.
More of this.
Sweet. All right, let's catch up on the chat. Yeah, we're using volleyball for logging. Thanks for the follow, Roxanne TV. Emojis. Hello, Lily. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Lily.
We got some emotes.
Chica.
Mostly lurking, but wanted to say hi to you and Alca. Thanks.
How's it going?
Cool. Cool. So, now what? I'll be honest, I'm getting tired. So we've been going at this for a little over 5 hours now. I think
we could we could start looking at the messages and trying to figure out what's
let's do just one basic command. Like our bot can like do like an echo command.
Yeah, super easy. Sort of.
Rotenex is asking, have I checked cross-site scripting injection? Are we talking about my chat window or are we talking about the bot? My chat window, yes. People have attempted to cross-site script me. It's a fun little game we play here on the Coding Garden. But I am using a DOM Purify library to sanitize things that come through. But I think, Alca, that's we've coded a lot today.
Mm-hmm.
So let's at least get a basic echo command working.
Yeah.
And if we think back to our data model, I mean, I guess right now we could technically just hard code it, right? Like we could, after the client connects, we can listen for incoming messages, and if it is echo, it just echoes the message.
Yeah.
Whereas we actually do want to get to a point where we're storing those commands in the database and then executing them. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes?
That sounds good. Yes.
So just like hard code it for now? Or
yeah,
okay,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So in our bot code,
we need to set up listeners. So we want to have, we can write the listeners here. The listeners should be added pretty much immediately.
So after it joins the channel?
Right after creating the client. So initializing the client.
Okay, so in our init function.
Line 37.
Line 37. Yeah, at that point. Cool.
So you can say on message and then have like message handler.
Cool.
And this will be a function wherever below init, below the part channel. I'll do it at the bottom. Yeah, it really wants to like climb on everything. So
no worries.
Sure. I'm gonna set up JS doc for this.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So let's see. Our first param is going to be a channel, which is a string, and then we have the tags. So the IRC tags. This is object. I believe there is one set up. Node.js. Looking at the IntelliSense, it's not there. I have a thing there, maybe. No. Write it again. Import. Loading. There we go. Okay. So it's tags. I think it's called user state for message or something. Chat.
Chat user state.
And then we have a string, which is our message. And we have another parameter that is self. So this is from self. So it's like an internal message that comes back to the bot. So when we say in the client, it emits it again to the message handler.
Okay.
So this is a
cool.
So we can ignore our own messages, but also be able to log them and stuff like that.
Right.
Self. We could probably end up changing channel or something. I'm going to say if self, we return. So we stop immediately.
So and that's if the message came from itself.
bot itself.
The bot itself. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So if you want to rename that or whatever, I always do self.
Yeah, self is fine.
And then I don't know if you want to do any of this.
Sure. So
I can walk you through it.
Message is the incoming message, right, that we received, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say like if message dot starts with echo. Like we're looking for the echo command, or
we can do it. You're going like super simple. I was thinking.
Yeah. Tell me what you're thinking. Yeah.
A little bigger. Okay. What we could do is we could determine if it's a command, and then determine what the command is, and then we can have arguments in the command. So whatever we're echoing out, right?
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So,
some text manipulation.
So if message starts with exclamation mark, we assume that it's a command?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a command. And then we can parse it to get the command and the arguments. Okay.
So you could use destructuring with a rest.
Cool. So like
by splitting at the space.
Yeah, message.split on space. And then that's going to give us the arguments. And I guess we will also get the command. Right?
You could slice off the exclamation if you want.
Let's do it. So message.slice
1.
1. And that'll remove the exclamation mark, split it on space so we get back the command and the arguments. Awesome. Then what?
Then we need to check if the command is equal to echo. We also want to lowercase the command, so we could have echo and it still
works.
Echo.
Cool. Actually, I guess if we no, we don't want to too lowercase the whole message because that could change what we're echoing. So
normally I would do this a different way, but
how would you do it?
Okay, I would do it. Let's see. So I would have command args equals message slice 1, and then I would split, and then I would say command equals args dot was it shift to lowercase.
Okay. Args will then have the command and the.
It will now only have the arguments.
Oh,
because I'm shifting.
Shift modifies.
Taking off the first one.
Okay, so shift modifies the array and then returns the result.
Yeah, removes the first element from the array and returns it.
I like it.
And that way we can do the lowercase without reassigning or something.
Yeah, so it's like all in one go. And then we can say like if command is equal to echo. We need to echo. And so we have access to the channel that this message handler occurred on.
Yep.
And is that just the channel ID or?
That's the channel name, so we can pass that directly back in.
So if we say like client dot
say.
So we pass in the channel,
and then the arguments joined by a space.
Cool. Do we join it?
Yeah, it's an array.
Oh, I see. I see, because the message could have a bunch of spaces in it, right? And we only want the first one to be the command. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. And when we do join like that, or no, sorry, join
with a space
on a space. Yeah. Is client.say? Yeah, it's a promise. So we would await it. Unexpected token. Oh, this needs to be an async function. Cool. And I guess just by default, because we've already handled, we're only listening on certain channels. This should only, this is only going to be hearing messages for the channels that we're listening on. It's not. Right. It's not going to try to talk to anything else.
No.
Okay.
So if we receive a message, then we definitely have joined that channel.
Okay. Cool.
Unless it's a whisper.
And do we need to handle that up at the top here?
We could handle that.
Okay.
For tags dot message type equals a whisper.
Cool. All right. I think we can test it, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, well, so actually, is it enabled right now? Yeah, it is enabled, so that if we restart the server, it should join the Coding Garden channel. Should it announce itself when it joins? Does that make sense?
That's up to you.
Okay, let's not do that for now, but
Okay.
it's there. It joined the Coding Garden channel. You're a little bit early, Linus, but wow. Hey, it works. Cool. Here we go. Your message was not sent because you're sending messages too quickly.
If you set the chat bot to mod, so
Oh,
/mod
I see.
space print bot.
Pruner bot. There we go.
Now it's good.
Cool. Nice. We've done it. All right, let's catch up on the chat, and then we can recap.
Okay.
About time for din din. Yeah, we can grab some dinner. It's almost 6 o'clock here. Almost 7 where you are, Alca. What library do you use, if you don't mind me asking? We're using tmi.js, which Alca is the maintainer for. Whispers don't work. I think did we purposefully disable that?
I purposely disabled it.
Okay. Yeah, so if it's a whisper, we don't do anything. Someone's trying to like make the bot make themselves a mod.
Yeah.
Could that?
They can't do that. No, only the broadcaster can moderate.
I see.
It can do other / commands as a moderator though.
So I mean, when we echo the command here, should we really be like sanitizing it in some way?
We could sanitize it.
What would we want to sanitize for?
Check for slashes at the beginning and then remove them. Also periods. We could put a space at the front if it has a slash or a period in it. And that would prevent it from running the command.
I'm gonna kill the bot. People are trying to hack it.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
Cool. Let's catch up. Do everything again. What? No, we've been coding for 7 hours, 6 hours. If you want to see a streamer with a chat manager that has XSS, is this me? Oh, this is why you sanitize user input. Chat hacked live by cross-site scripting. Cool. So I was watching.
I think the greatest part about someone making an overlay like live is doing that. Is like the joy of having fun, like exercising your cross-site scripting skills.
No, exactly. Yeah, and like it makes it fun for the viewers
until
too.
It gets shut down. It's like
yeah,
it was fun.
Or if somebody does something extremely horrible, then yeah, but
like,
otherwise it's pretty entertaining. Yeah, so I was watching you two guys stream, went to the movies to see Tarantino, a 3-hour movie. Got back home and you're still on. Yeah, we did take a lunch break. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Never heard of it. Oh, thanks for the follow. Who was that? Gastrofax. Welcome. Yeah, we're making a Twitch bot that can potentially work on multiple channels. A general purpose Twitch bot like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, and Nikumber. Welcome. Code in binary because it's easier because you only have 2 commands. Well. Yeah, so we got all the echoes working. Awesome. And then people were trying to like mod themselves, which is great. How are we working on the same code? So we're using this thing called VS Code Live Share. It's you can install it from the extension store. We're also using a Zoom video chat share thing, so he can see my screen if he needs to.
Yeah, which is what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, typing the same code is VS Code Live Share. Hello. How am I watching this almost since the beginning? Questions, life choices. I don't know. I think we're pretty cool to hang out with. I don't know, but I love it. Cool. So let's do some sanitization. No, we should do that right now.
Okay.
So what you were saying was if it begins with the slash, just like remove the slash, right? That'll prevent slash.
We could just put a space at the beginning, and that's safe enough. Twitch does not ignore the space at the front.
I like that.
Yeah.
What are some of the commands people were trying? So like if they try to just like mod themselves, so they were trying to send like
They're trying to mod themselves. They cannot mod themselves.
oh because
If they
I'm
were trying to time out themselves, they're trying to set the chat color for the bot.
and basically that like what is a can yeah so you can time out and then a username.
And then the time.
I guess I could time myself out. I don't know. does
Yeah.
that does
That'll
that
work.
does that
You
work?
can time out the bot.
Oh yeah, it's timeout pruner bot. And then what were the other commands? So like,
The amount of time, I think it's default 10 minutes or something, 5 minutes.
is
If you
it
type like 10 im,
is it
it's
it's
seconds.
in seconds? Okay,
But you can use im sh.
so we do like 10 seconds.
Sure.
So what they were doing, if they echoed this command, it would attempt to run it potentially,
Yeah,
but it didn't.
because that's how the chat commands actually work.
It didn't though, did it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if they were successful with any of the commands.
Okay, cool. But adding a space at the beginning is to prevent them from like injecting anything, which is good. All right, we'll start it back.
It'll just send the slash.
Okay, we'll start it back up. Try and hack it. I mean, please don't try to hack us. Ban everyone. Would that command actually work? That's me.
I put a space at the beginning so it doesn't.
Cool. Yeah, you can use Markdown in your chat messages. It'll render. That's some SVG, I believe, right? Or is it an image? Yeah, it's an image. Cool. Dot. Oh, we did echo dot. That's why. Hello world. Cool. Sweet. So we have the beginnings of a general purpose bot. I guess we can talk about right here. We're kind of we just have this like if statement, like if the command is echo, do this. But this is essentially where we would reach into the database and see like, is that a command that's stored for this given bot?
Yeah.
Cool.
The channel.
Cool. I guess we can end it there for now. And okay. Yeah, and we'll come back to at some point. We'll definitely push all of this code up to GitHub. And next time we can add more endpoints for like adding commands, and we'll get all of that set up. Because at this point, we really only have, let's color code it. We have green. We have the channel. We have the users. We have the bot. Yeah, and all of this other like moderation stuff we haven't really added yet. Yeah. We could do that at a later time. Awesome.
Okay.
Anything else we should talk about? Or I guess we could do like a recap of all the stuff that we did.
Yeah.
Let's do that real quick. Prunerbot changed the title. Somebody inject something.
Oh, they made it talk to Streamlabs bot.
So they fix this ASAP. Okay, let's kill it. Oh no! Cool. So echo set title. Oh no. Oh, and because it's a mod, Streamlabs isn't escaping the space at the beginning.
Yeah, they probably don't even see the space.
That's great. Who was the first one to do that? Jack Skelly? Great job, Jack Skelly. Echo set title, this will not work. Then it echoed that, and then Streamlabs bot kicked in because that's a valid command. Cool. What do you think is the best way to prevent things like that?
Well, sometimes it is useful to be able to do that. I don't know. You could just check for exclamation marks at the beginning and just not send the message. You could just choose not to send the message, or you could we could just do in the index for the bot. We could choose to at them instead. So at tags.login.
And that way, if they did a weird command like set title, it has their name.
No matter what they do.
Yeah, because then it just has their name at the beginning.
Slash commands, it can't execute other commands and other bots.
Cool. Someone try to set the title.
Yeah. Unless the other bot that it's trying to communicate to uses @ symbol instead of exclamation mark, and then they set their username to be set title. I'm trying to echo.
Yeah, it looks like the login is coming back as
Okay,
undefined. Yeah.
Log, it's username. Sorry.
Someone's throwing in an ActiveX object. That'll only work on Windows, won't it? I'm running on a Mac.
Well, it'll only work in Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer, yeah.
And he's using that.
Okay, tags.username.
Get out of here.
Cool. Try again. You should actually be added with your username now. There we go.
All right.
Nice. Cool. Okay, let's do like a quick recap of what this thing is and what we did. So where do we start? Did it just add itself? Cool. Yeah, we'll look at index.js. So we have ourselves an Express app. We're loading all of our basic middlewares. We have a root request handler that just responds with it's a Twitch bot, and then we have a couple of different routers. So one of them actually handles doing the Twitch OAuth flow, which ultimately will allow us to add that user to our system so that we can have the bot listen on their channel. And then cool. So that basically will respond with what is like the OAuth thing it needs to hit. Is that what you're thinking? Okay.
Yeah, for now,
yeah,
temporary.
Yeah, and that way, I mean, I guess our front end.
Our front end will be rendered here instead.
Yeah.
And then we'll know to click for the login button.
Cool. Yeah. Then we have some error handlers for Express. Just want to make sure nobody's doing anything super weird. Seems okay. Somebody's trying to trigger an infinite loop. Didn't work. Cool. If we look at let's actually look at our libs. So we created a few like very reusable things. So if we look at jdbt.js, these are some functions for signing and verifying JSON web tokens. So logged in users can only modify or disable the bot on their channel. They can't modify anyone else's channel, and we use the token for that. Twitch API, we have put functions in here that are calling the Twitch API, so they're reusable. So we have get the logged in user, get an array of users, get an access token, given a refresh token. So that's good. And then right now we just have like a sleep util. In terms of middlewares, yeah, we have a middleware that will look at the auth header, verify the token. We wrote a lot of code today, Alca. I will say that. We wrote a lot of code. It's good.
Yeah, we got around to it.
Our config is pretty sweet. So our some weird things are happening. Just making sure. Coding Garden, thanks for creating me. Cool. You're welcome, Prunerbot. So yeah, our config is basically just we have some type definitions on all the different environment variables that we're bringing in, and then we use that throughout our app. We have a few different Mongoose models for our database. So index.js is the connection to the database. It's my break timer, last one of the day. Let's take a quick stretch. Cool. And then we have a couple of models. So like our channel schema is just holding the Twitch ID of that given channel. We decided that we're not going to be storing like Twitch usernames or anything like that because they could change. So essentially anytime we need a Twitch username, we make the request to the API to get it using a given ID. Our user schema is very similar. It's just storing the Twitch ID. Also, we're only storing the refresh token, so we're not storing any access tokens. And if we need an access token, we use the refresh token to get it. Bot is also very simple, and there's only one bot in our system. But technically, this could be used to manage multiple bots. Because like if you look at our database layout, we could really have multiple bots in here. I mean, we need like another table to like link a bot to a given channel, but I don't know, it's doable. Do you want to walk us through the bot? This is kind of doing the tmi.js stuff.
Okay. so we have imported all of these things. We have a function called getClient, which will return the client if we've already created the client. If we have not, we will look up the bot for its access token. Let's see, if we can pass in a token from elsewhere. If not, we will get that token, and then we will get the bot user from the Twitch API. Now we're ready to create our client. We're using secure, so it'll be on the TLS stuff. Reconnect, so if the connection dies, it will reconnect. Here's the bot username. Here's the token for the bot. We have some debug options, so you can see the chat in the terminal. And then we're setting up our basic message handler, and then we're waiting for the bot to connect. Here in our init function is where we will start the entire process. So we're going to look up the bot here. This is where we're going to get the token, because we'll need the token later inside this function. We'll now get the client so we can automatically connect and all that. And then once it's done, now we have our client. Then we're going to look up all the channels where we are already enabled. So it's going to find Coding Garden, and it's not going to get pruner bot. Then it's going to get all the Twitch IDs from that array. It's going to join all those channels, which is the function down below. So it takes an array of IDs. It'll then look up the logins for all of those IDs, and then join all of them, waiting 350 milliseconds for the optimal rate limit at the moment for us. And there's also a part channels, which does the exact same thing, except part.
Sweet.
And then our basic message handler, which will ignore itself. It'll ignore whispers. And then when a message starts with an exclamation mark, it will then split it up by spaces, getting rid of the exclamation mark. And then it will grab the command, set it to lowercase so that we can type echo in any way that we want, capital letters, lowercase, mixed case, and then just reply using a safe message format.
Cool. I don't know if I ever updated it. Like the title of the Twitch video, I think is still.
I think it's broken. I had to guess.
I think
Twitch is broken.
What does it say though? Oh no.
I think it says "Spend time with Phil."
Maybe somebody put it back. No, it says building a Twitch bot, but earlier someone was able to inject the set title command.
I think the Streamlabs bot is just broken.
Okay.
So
I see. Because yeah, the Streamlabs set title command.
You manually updated it.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I saw though when we were going through this is we actually don't need to get the token here anymore.
Okay.
Because oh, and then we don't need to get the bot either because we're getting that in the get client function.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah, because we call get client. That does.
And then we get the token from the.
Get the bot,
options.
Get the token. That simplifies it, so that's cool.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Save it. I'll restart the bot.
I'm going to change the client.getOptions.identity.password to a simple function, get token.
Love it. And that essentially just looks at the client instance.
It'll do the exact same thing, just nicer.
Cool.
Instead. There we go.
I like it. Sweet. Yeah, and let's see all the people that are trying to cross-site script me. We have 74 messages. That's great. Yeah, and so I do have, I'm rendering certain HTML in my chat manager here. I'm not going to click this button. It looks like it's going to YouTube, which is probably a Rickroll, so we'll get rid of that. On mouse over? Yeah, that didn't work.
Sounds so good.
Or check if the sender is a mod. So, to allow for certain types of commands. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think eventually, once we have lots of more custom commands, this is going to get much more complex.
Checking the roles and all that from the database.
Yeah. Alca, what is your channel on Twitch?
It is Alca.
It is Alca. So twitch.tv/Alca.
Nice and simple.
There you go.
Hosted someone else. Forgot to host you back.
I should know that Rickroll URL by heart now. I should just like straight up strip the Rickroll URL out of any incoming message.
Yes.
If they're not a mod, ignore arget0 if it starts with a bang. Yeah, I think also like ultimately what we did was just put their username at the beginning, which prevents any commands from being injected, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna click there. Replace all exclamation marks with an encoded variant. Don't know if Twitch is going to render that properly though. Oh, is there like a URL
They
encoded
don't
or?
handle. No,
Okay,
they
interesting.
don't. They don't do that.
Thanks for the follow, Nova K. You're welcome, Prunerbot. We created you today, didn't we? Everyone's echoing themselves. Awesome. Cool. Got some Keanu Reeves in the chat. Our bot is apparently sentient, which is cool.
Ah, awesome.
Yeah, and so my DOM Purify library, I have the options to strip out any like script tags or anything like that, so those shouldn't be turning up. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Well, Alka, this was extremely fun. Thanks for taking the time, and
Absolutely.
I hope probably not tomorrow because I'm pretty burnt out from streaming so much this week, but
Okay.
maybe like sometime later in the week or next week we can get together and like keep working on this thing because this is gonna be cool. Like once we get all this working and we'll have like a nice dashboard, we've created the initial parts of something that's gonna be really cool. I think. Cool.
I'm excited to get to the Vue part.
Oh yeah, Vue, yeah. Like so we talked about this earlier in the stream, but the whole point of us doing this collab was so I could like help Alka learn about Vue, but we haven't even gotten there yet. But yeah, we're gonna open source this whole thing. So on my YouTube channel, the description of this video will have a link to GitHub once we push all that up. Totally open source. Like it's open source, right, Alka?
Yes.
Yeah. MIT, do what you want with it. Definitely.
Oh.
Cool. Alrighty, thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks again, Alka. This was super fun. I don't think, yeah. So, if you followed during the stream, stick around. You'll see your name pop up. That'll be fun. And wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.